We're in the fall now. Yes, exactly. Oh, hey guys. Welcome to another week of talking about our homebrewed mead batch. Obviously, you can see this change in the air. We got all the fall feels here at Honey Girl Meadery, and I am dressed for the occasion. So at this point, we should be near the end of the fermentation process for your mead. We should be seeing bubbles now about once every 30 seconds up to about a minute. You'll see that right here. So you should be looking for bubbles about every 30 seconds to a minute at this point, and that tells us that we're near the end of the fermentation process. But we're going to do a little measure on that today. More excitingly though, we're going to get to try a little taste of the mead today. So without further ado, let me go ahead and open this up and see what we have going on. So you don't really need to open it up at this stage. You know it's near the end of fermentation if the bubbling has slowed down to this level. You're going to notice a lot less vigorous bubbling in this than you would have noticed earlier in the fermentation when you're opening it to feed and everything. So let's just do a little hydrometer test on this and see where we're at. So I got my sanitized hydrometer. And yeah, it looks like we're nearly done with fermentation. So I'll know it's done when our hydrometer reads about 1.000 like that, or even below that. It'll be, that'll tell me that it's completely bone dry and finished fermenting. But right now, it looks like we're at 1.008 or so. So I bet this will be finished bubbling within 3 days up to a week. Even after all of the sugar is finished fermenting from the mead, you're still going to get some fermentation activity because there's still compounds in the liquid that the yeast are metabolizing for energy. And so they'll clean up the mead. We're just going to let it sit in that cool, dark place like you had before for another week to 2 weeks at this point. So I would go ahead and sanitize a glass if you're going to try it. And it's really easy. You can either use the siphon or you can get some from the top. I personally like to get it from the top because usually around the siphon at the bottom, there's gonna be a little yeast there. So I want to try really what's near the top of the tank. And so I'm just gonna get some of that in my glass. If you still got bubbling happening and it's still fermenting, it's probably gonna taste a little sweet. So we'll see what we get. Yeah, so I'm noticing a little bit of an appley note. I'm noticing that I'm getting a little bit of an alcohol on the nose, so I can tell that there's a good amount of fermentation in here. Probably 11% alcohol, I would estimate. Yeah, and so you're gonna get a lot of those compounds that are still being processed by the yeast. Like I'm getting a lot of acetaldehyde right now, which is sort of like a green apple flavor, and that will age out. So the yeast will clean it up. They'll convert them over to alcohol. And it'll just clarify the mead over about another 1 to 2 weeks. But I'm getting a good mild sweetness from this right now, which tells me there's still a little bit of sugar left to ferment. And it's really bright, fruity honey too. So I'm loving that. And that's really all there is to it. Now it's sort of a holding pattern, and really the next video we're going to talk about is looking at the mead once it has cleared up. Ooh, goodness. Once it has cleared up over the next couple of weeks. So if you guys have any questions about what you're looking at, if you feel like your mead is like going a lot slower than you would expect it to, or if you think that maybe the bubbling has stopped and is still very sweet, it might have stalled. So if you have any sort of questions about the process at this stage, please let us know in the comments, either on our YouTube page or on our social. Happy False Fall! Look at this gourd. Also, we have this beautiful bottle of pumpkin spice. It's green, it's orange, it's like a pumpkin picked fresh from the patch. I don't know. It's delicious. I gotta get this off.
And it's available now.
I'm getting so hot. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna put this around you guys. Here you go. Happy fall, guys.
Happy Halloween /